Hi guys, today we're talking about open interest and funding rates, how it works, how to profit from it, and basically a deeper dive into it. Open interest is the amount of total open positions in the market. A high open interest basically means a high number of potentially forced buyers slash sellers in the market. Keep this image in mind. A high open interest can cause liquidation events, especially if there's an imbalance between the eagerness to long or short. In 2019, every time Bitcoin reached 1 billion market cap on BitMEX, the market would see a big dart maul, basically, shaking everybody out of their positions. It was definitely profitable for exchanges. An example of a liquidation event over here, we see open interest climbing here as well, open interest climbing, and then, a shakeout over here, big wipe of open interest. We see one over here as well, and you can see, it wicked quite a bit lower, than before, basically, or like after it. And it was just liquidations being triggered, sending the price on a derivative market lower than on spot. Just because, one stop followed the other. Perpetual swap contracts, that's what we're talking about. Funding exists in perpetual swap contracts invented by Arthur Hayes and are now widely used in crypto. There's no expiry or settlement, unlike futures, for example. In crypto, I like to use the quarterly futures. We will talk about that on a later stage, why I like to trade them. Perpetual contracts mimic a margin-based spot market and therefore trade close to the underlying reference index price, unlike futures, for example. So that's why we pay funding trading perps. Here's an example of CoinGlass, how they predict. Some exchanges have predicted funding as well. Others basically calculate it every hour. Others charge it every hours, and others every 8 hours. So you either pay funding to the you always pay funding to the other side unless there's an imbalance to the other side, basically. The funding mechanism is used to tether contracts to the underlying spot price. When there are discounts compared to the spot price, there will be negative funding and vice versa for premiums. With a high funding and a high open interest, it can pay off being a contrarian, especially if the funding is high and price starts to go sideways or going in the opposite direction of the majority. And here, basically, it's so beautiful, this graph. I couldn't even think of it. Found it online. Anyway, here, if there's discounts, there's a negative funding rate. If there's premiums, there's a positive funding rate. Very nice visually explained over there. A little example over here, high funding rate. You see a little dip, getting rid of that high funding rate. And people, this was, how BitMEX worked. People, got wiped out. And you see funding rate completely, restore, basically. Over here, we see the same. And over here, also because all the longs are stopped out. That's why we see extremely negative. And I like to buy at those moments. And I like to watch out for these moments. And that's basically, it's also, by the way, one of my favorite indicators of neobutane. Things to take in account when it comes to, looking at open interest, looking at fundings and premiums and discounts. Funding can stay high for as long as the market is trending. The herd only gets in trouble once price reverses or goes sideways. If the trend is good, if there's certain news, doesn't matter. If price starts to stall, everybody's paying a lot of funding. At one point, they will get squeezed out of their position just by funding alone. Part of a high open interest can also be caused by hedges or funding arbitrages, especially, in coin margins pairs. Did we miss anything? Let me know in the comments. Make sure to read the video description as well. And I hope to see you guys soon.